We have with us Professor Vijay Chandru from Indian Institute of Science, from the Computer Science Department. Sir, you were talking about a Digital Humpy project. Would you talk about what are the things that you have done for Digital Humpy?
Sure. The Digital Humpy project was conceived by the Department of Science and Technology around 2010, 2011, and with multiple institutions involved. There were about 10 institutions which were technology institutions which brought the digital expertise, and then there were almost another 10 institutions that were cultural institutions and art historical experts and various dimensions of the humanities, which was important for documenting and getting the cultural side of the heritage properly documented. Now, the site chosen was Hampi. Hampi, as you know, was an extraordinary phenomenon in India around the 14th, 15th, 16th centuries. And the actual area of Hampi has been declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. And so there's an extraordinary collection of tangible heritage in terms of monuments, sculptures, paintings, and also a lot of intangible heritage because you have stories and songs and all kinds of rituals that have been performed there. So our job was to document all of this and to capture it in a digital way and then to create uh, experiences for people from all over India in being able to experience some of the richness of this heritage without sometimes being able to travel there. And that's what digital technology allows you to do. And so it's been an extraordinary project. A lot of content has been created. And now we have a book coming out. We have a knowledge bank, which will be an online resource that people can tap into. We also will have more exhibitions. There was one exhibition at India Habitat Center in Delhi. There is one exhibition coming up at the NGMA in Bangalore. And then early in 2019, there will be a final exhibition in Delhi where we will also launch the book, which will have all the compilations. Now, in addition to that, it was DST felt that it would be important to have a startup company come out and which can translate all of this information and use it for other sites, for other heritage sites. And this has been done. A company called Vizara Technologies was spun out from IIT Delhi, and it still sits in the incubator at IIT Delhi. And two PhD students from the Multimedia Lab have been the founders. So it also has women founders. So it's an interesting startup. It was recently profiled in BBC Click, which is a BBC worldwide program because of the technologies they are developing. And so it does artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, 3D printing, and so it is creating artifacts which are 3D printed, it's creating interfaces, it's creating VR apps, and the business is just starting to take off. It's about a year old now. So
Sir, after the research report, do you see some sort of a movie with AR, VR, or MR being used to give it a effect that what you see while going to Hampi can be seen digitally or offline or online?
Oh, certainly. I think whether it comes in the form of a feature film or just web resources or apps and games, and this content is now available, and it will be made completely free and available online, so that people can come up with all kinds of new ideas by which this can be utilized and experienced and enjoyed as entertainment. But I think it's also, this experiment can now be replicated in other sites. So part of what Vizara Technologies is doing now is it has gone to Banaras, the Kashi Vishwanath temple. It is capturing, other sites and other heritage sites, and so we will see a lot more of this going forward.
Do we see more such examples, and do we also see the duration being shortened because of the experience that you have already gained from Digital Humpy?
Oh, absolutely. I think this was a huge learning experience. First of all, we had to pull all the technologies together, and then also the technologists had to learn how the cultural aspects have to be put together, and then the cultural, studies people also had to appreciate how technology can capture things in a very imaginative way. So I think it was a huge learning experience. There was a lot of tooling up that was required, and that has happened. So now the second experiments and the third experiments will be that much easier and quicker. DST has actually created an interdisciplinary cyber physical systems division, and one of the themes within this division is on heritage science. So
And one last thing, sir, do you see some sort of gaming applications being developed on Digital Humpy or digital heritage sites that you are planning to have?
Oh, I think that's a very natural way in which digital content gets used. Already I think Vizara is thinking of making some of the first gaming applications, but I think that will just be the start, and I think you can see many others moving into that. In Bangalore, we have a very, very active gaming and animation industrial sector, and I've been talking to some of those people, Biren Das and others, and they are very excited about heritage and where it can be taken within that sector. Right?
Thank you, sir. Thanks for talking to me.